Hey everyone, welcome back to our podcast. Today we're diving into something almost everyone's faced: blocking and unblocking a debit card, specifically with Access Bank.
That's right. It sounds simple, but when it happens, maybe because you lost your card or noticed suspicious activity, it can be pretty stressful.
Absolutely. Have you ever had to block your card before?
Oh, definitely. I once misplaced my wallet at a cafe and spent the whole afternoon panicking. Blocking my card was my first move.
That's smart. Blocking is crucial for security, but figuring out how to do it quickly can be tricky, especially with different banks having their own processes.
For sure. With Access Bank, for example, there are several ways to block your card. Did you know you can actually do it via USSD code, mobile app, or even by calling customer service?
Yeah, and the USSD method is especially handy if you don't have internet access. Just dial the right code on your phone and boom, card blocked.
The mobile app's great too, but you need to have it installed and logged in already. Sometimes in emergencies, people forget their password or haven't set up the app.
That's true. I think a lot of people overlook setting up these digital tools until it's too late. It's like having a fire extinguisher you never learned to use.
Exactly. And when you actually need to unblock your card, the process can be a little more involved. You often have to verify your identity, sometimes even visit a branch.
That's the part that can be frustrating. Blocking is instant, but unblocking usually takes more steps. It's like locking the front door with one click, but needing 3 keys to open it again.
Nice analogy. By the way, did you know that sometimes, if you block your card due to loss and then find it again, banks might suggest you get a new card anyway for security reasons?
Makes sense. If your card's been out of your hands, you never really know who's had access to the details.
Right. And I think a lot of customers don't realize that even if you unblock your card, any pending fraudulent transactions could still go through if they were authorized before blocking.
That's a great point. So it's important to act fast. The sooner you block your card, the less likely you are to lose money.
But acting fast isn't always easy, especially if you're in a panic or in a place with bad signal.
True, and sometimes people hesitate because they're not sure if they've really lost their card or just misplaced it. You don't want to overreact, but you also don't want to risk it.
I guess it's always better to be safe than sorry. Blocking your card is reversible, but losing your savings isn't.
Couldn't agree more. So let's talk about the actual steps with Access Bank. If you use the USSD, you just dial 90111 once, right?
That's correct. Then you follow the prompts to select the card you want to block. It's pretty straightforward.
And for the mobile app, there's a Manage Card section where you can block or unblock your card.
Yeah, and if all else fails, calling customer service is always an option, though sometimes you may have to wait on hold.
Waiting on hold feels like forever when you're worried about your money.
Tell me about it. I once spent 20 minutes listening to hold music, and the suspense was worse than a thriller movie.
I wish banks would do something creative with their hold music. Maybe some financial tips or calming meditation tracks.
Now that would be innovative.
Another thing to keep in mind is, after unblocking your card, you should update any online subscriptions or payments. Sometimes a blocked card can cause automatic payments to fail.
That's a good tip. You don't want your Netflix or Spotify to suddenly stop because your card was blocked, right when your favorite show releases a new season.
For sure. And for people who travel, having your card blocked can be a real hassle, especially if you're in a different country.
Yeah, then you have to deal with time zones, international calls, maybe even language barriers. It's not fun.
I always recommend carrying a backup card or some emergency cash just in case.
Same here. I once got stranded at an airport because my only card was blocked. Learned my lesson the hard way.
That sounds like a nightmare. Did you have to sleep at the airport?
Almost. Luckily, a friend bailed me out, but I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
So, for listeners, maybe take this as a sign to always have a plan B.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about card security in general. Even before you ever need to block your card, keeping it safe is key.
Right. Simple habits like not sharing your PIN, Covering the keypad when entering your code and checking your statements regularly can go a long way.
Also, be cautious with online shopping. Only use trusted websites and avoid saving your card details on every platform.
I think we've all been tempted by those late-night shopping sprees on unfamiliar sites.
Guilty as charged, but it's not worth the risk.
And for those who worry about forgetting their card number, most banking apps now let you access your card details securely.
That's true. Digital banking has made things more convenient, but it also means we need to be more vigilant.
Definitely. So, what about the emotional side? Losing access to your money can feel really vulnerable.
Yes, it can be anxiety-inducing. Money is such a basic need, so even a temporary block can cause a lot of stress.
I remember once I blocked my card and then realized I didn't have cash for the bus. Had to walk home in the rain.
That's a classic story. It's always when you least expect it, right?
Murphy's Law of banking. If something can go wrong, it will, and probably when it's most inconvenient.
So true. But I think being prepared and knowing the steps can really help.
Speaking of steps, do you think banks should make the unblocking process as easy as blocking?
That's a tricky one. On the one hand, convenience is great, but on the other, you don't want someone unblocking your card without proper checks.
Security versus convenience, the eternal debate.
Exactly. Maybe a middle ground is having multiple layers of verification, but still making the process user-friendly.
Like sending a code to your phone or email before allowing the unblock?
Yes, and maybe even facial recognition for extra security.
Technology is evolving so fast. Who knows, maybe soon we'll be blocking and unblocking cards with voice commands.
Hey bank, block my card. That would be cool, but what if your parrot accidentally says it?
Now that would be a story for the ages.
On a serious note, though, it's important to educate people about these features. A lot of folks don't even know they can block or unblock their card themselves.
Right? And sometimes older customers especially are hesitant to use digital tools.
Banks could do more with tutorials or workshops. Even short videos could make a difference.
Or maybe even a podcast. Hey, like this one.
Exactly. We're doing our part.
So, to sum up, blocking your Access Bank card is all about quick action, using USSD, the app, or customer service. Unblocking usually takes a bit more verification, and sometimes you might need a new card for safety.
And don't forget the importance of regular card safety habits, being prepared for emergencies, and staying informed about your bank's procedures.
Before we wrap up, here's something to ponder. As banking gets more digital, how can we balance security with convenience without leaving anyone behind?
Great question. Maybe our listeners have some thoughts. Feel free to share your own experiences or tips with us.
Thanks for tuning in today. Remember, stay safe, stay informed, and always have a backup plan.
Until next time, keep your cards and your cool protected.
See you in the next episode.